Hey, Mariner fans, welcome back to another episode of Monday Mojo. We're coming at you at the beginning of August, the 7th, after a nice long week of decent Mariner baseball. Coming back from New York City and taking on the Angels at home here. 5-5 in the last 10 games. And coming at you at the moment, at least still in the third spot of the wild card, tied with the Rays. Things are looking pretty sexy. We'll see what happens here in a little bit. But what are we talking about today?
Well, the Mariners, Airbud used to Airbud. I'm going to start off with this. Airbud used to be just a movie, just fiction, right? Fiction's not true, right? Fiction
is not true. That is correct.
So Airbud used to just be a fiction for Seattle fans. You know, some baseball teams have had dogs on their team before, but now in Seattle, we adopt, don't shop. We adopted Tucker, who is our new Airbud. I'm not entirely sure if he's going to be the bat boy running out and getting balls, but I thought that was pretty great. We adopted a dog, and now the clubhouse has a dog every day. I mean,
yeah, dude.
Talk about good vibes only.
I think Airbud's still fiction. Doesn't matter.
Well, not with Tucker now. Now it's nonfiction.
Is he playing for the Mariners, Chris? Is he batting one?
I will say, if there's a real life Airbud, then that dog or whoever owns that dog is making bank.
Hey, Airbud. He also he played basketball. He played football. You know, he was versatile.
He did.
Golden retriever.
Seventh inning fetch.
I do like that.
That was the name. That was the name of one of the movies.
Oh, really?
Seventh inning fetch. Seventh inning fetch.
On your own.
Yeah, no.
What do you guys think about the week? I mean, we did great in Yankee Stadium and came out with a 2-1 series win over there. Marco in the first game obviously looked pretty bad. He was throwing his command was off, and he was throwing pretty much meatballs over the middle that were getting smashed. And we already talked about Marco, at least on Twitter a little bit and on Instagram, is that, his pitch to contact style is just not really a great matchup against these big power hitting teams like we've seen with the Astros and the Yankees. But not to skip ahead, but we come back today, and he pitched a pretty good game against the Angels, a lesser hitting team, obviously no Mike Trout in the lineup. And those are kind of the spots where I think they can use him, where now they have 6 starters. And they're going to be able to kind of play with Kirby and play with Marco, maybe do a piggyback situation there. But yeah, game 1, we lose in New York. But game 2, we come back, and we had that. That was one of the best baseball games I've ever seen, actually. Yeah. At game 2, we get up big.
Oh, yeah.
I was texting Soba back and forth on that game. But yeah, that was an amazing game. We get up big. Suarez had a big home run. Frazier, who's been heating up, was doing his thing, and he's continued to do his thing. But yeah, we kind of gave the lead up. That was Castillo, right?
Castillo's
been hurt.
Who pitched game 2?
I think it was Logan Gilbert. I think that pitched game 2.
Gilbert did pitch game 2. Yeah,
because he gave up those 6 runs. Remember, I think in the 6th inning, and then we're kind of
we're up early, and then he gave up the big 6 runs,
and then Swaggerty.
Hold on, Gilbert's inning. Were all 6 of those runs in that one inning?
No, I'm sorry if it sounded like that. No,
it did. Yeah. But anyways, but Ham Swaggerty, that's a guy that we need to talk more about. I think we actually talk about him a decent amount here on this show. But Ham Swaggerty in the 7th inning, for the first time, there's a stat I got to pull up here, but it was it was from Alex Mayer, who actually is like the stat man. He just, it's incredible the stuff that guy pulls up. If you're not following Alex Mayer 34, that's his Twitter handle. If you're not following him on Twitter, you should, because this guy is pulling up stats left and right, and they're just incredible. But one of the ones that he pulled up on August 2nd, after the 7th inning, when Ham Swaggerty comes in, game was tied at this point 6-6.
Yeah.
And top of the 7th, Swaggerty, pitch hit on a 1-0 count, goes yard, giving the M's a 7-6 lead. That's the first pinch hit homer against the Yankees since Jay Buhner did it in the ALCS of Game 3 on October 20th, 2001. So it's been a while.
From the Mariners?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. I thought there was just like a crazy. They've never had a guy come in and pinch hit and a home run off him since then. But
no, but that was that one. So Ham Swaggerty, man, that guy just finds a way to do things, and then he scores the insurance run in the 9th inning. He's on a wild pitch. He goes from first to second, and then Frazier hits a single, scoring Haggerty. And that guy is now the second fastest guy on our team because Tucker, the dog, obviously is going to be faster than him. So our second fastest guy on the team, Ham Swaggerty, does his thing, and I've been saying this, man, but for the M's, this is something we're going to talk about a little bit later, but it's going to fit in here now. When we have all of our guys back, Julio, when he comes back, Dylan Moore, when he comes back, I mean, we're going to have to make moves. We're going to have to put people down. Ham Swaggerty cannot be one of those people that we put down because he just has so many tools. He doesn't seem to matter what side of the plate he's hitting from. Obviously, he's a switch hitter. It doesn't seem to matter where he's left side or right side. It seems he's always doing something, finding a way to get the ball in the outfield grass, whether it's a Texas League or blooper, or whether it's a nice, rope double or a homer in the 7th inning to take the lead against the New York Yankees. I mean, Ham Swaggerty, the guy, he can't not be on this team. He can't not be on this roster. We've got to keep him. Yeah, I don't think that we're gonna send him down, but we just can't.
I think it's pretty clear that Kelnick's one of the guys, and then it's either Demo stays down in AAA, which I don't think he will. I think Demo comes up, and I think Kyle Lewis also gets sent down.
Kyle Lewis has got to go down.
Kyle's been struggling, man, and I hate.
You think he has to go down? Is that just because
you only have 26 spots? So I mean,
no, I get it, but is that just because we want him to get more reps?
No, it's because you want Julio and you want Demo. Demo gives you way more versatility. And if Kyle Lewis was hitting, sure, he's a better player than Dylan Moore, and Haggerty is already a better version of Dylan Moore. But I think that they like the positional versatility of having Demo up here, and I think with Mitch coming back now, I mean, you're gonna have Julio, you're gonna have Winker, Mitch. I don't know if
Ty's first base, but yeah.
What the fuck was that?
Why is Ty getting brought into this conversation?
But Haggerty, as we're talking about, I mean, I don't think you need Kyle up here, and if you can send him down and kind of just be like, I'm not saying that he can't come back up, but right now it's not working. Either you send him down and you let him figure it out for a week and then maybe he can come back up, or maybe there's an injury. But, with the 26-man roster, he can't be one of them right now. Unless
I completely agree. Completely.
Unless you like him more than Dylan Moore. That's really what it comes down to, which I at this point, I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. But I want to go to Game 3, because Game 3 versus the New York Yankees. I'll tell you this right now. There is nothing in the world that I like more than morning coffee in 3-run Gino Suarez first inning bombs. He did the same thing when we had the doubleheader in Washington. I was just getting my cup of coffee brewing, and all of a sudden it's a 3-0 lead. Mariners winning because Gino hits a bomb. Does the same thing in New York. And Santana goes yard. And Kelnick goes yard, all in the first inning off of 5-time All-Star, highest paid pitcher in the league at 9-year, $375 million, Garrett Cole. And he gets absolutely worked in the first inning by the Seattle Mariners. We get a cushion for Luis Castillo. Welcome to Seattle, Mr. Luis Castillo. You get a 6-run lead in the first inning. That is the second time, I think, in Luis Castillo's entire career where after the first inning he has had 6 or more runs of support. Yeah, I mean, what a way to welcome yourself to Seattle.
Exactly. What I will say is we have to be so stoked about that game, because with a guy like Garrett Cole, you got to get out ahead in front as early as possible, because sure enough, later in the game, Garrett Cole looked exactly like his normal self, right?
He did.
Yeah, it was very important for us to get those, because, I mean, if we're being honest with ourselves, had we not had that first inning, there's no chance. There's no chance that we're going to beat that dude.
Well, hold on. No, there is a chance. It just isn't going to be as big of a blowout as it ended up being. If you got a guy
I don't know.
going head to head with Garrett Cole, whose name is Luis Castillo, one of the best pitchers in the entire league, you're gonna have a chance every time he touches the rubber.
That's true. Kind of think of it. I mean, having Castillo on the bump was especially another reason that we turned out on top. But like again, like you can put it, and we'll get into like this debate whether or not Castillo could be considered an ace for the team later on. But like, you can put anyone up against Garrett Cole, and it's still going to be very, very, very problematic. But I agree with what you're saying. But I'm telling you right now, I think had we not had that first inning whatsoever, if we're looking at it numerically, sure, like we would have been screwed. But that first inning was critical. And it was really nice to see, Kelnick hit that bomb too, because we've been giving him a hard time. And quite frankly, I think he deserves it. But like it's good for him to start heating up a little bit. Hit it in the sweet spot. I'm glad that he's back.
Man, I'll tell you this. It was just so funny because whenever there's a morning game on, obviously during the week, I have my job that pays me money and I have to do that job that pays so I can get that money that it pays me. And it's just like damn near impossible for me to work for 3.5 hours in that morning because the M's are on. And I slacked my manager, and he's a massive Yankees fan. And so we were just chit-chatting all week. We're going to be chit-chatting again this week because obviously they're coming here. But I slack him and I go, oh my God, I just looked at my phone. M's whooping you guys. And he responds in quotes. He's like, just looked at my phone, and then says like sends a Leslie Knope gif. He's like, sure, sure. I bet you just looked at your phone. I was like, yeah, no, I've been watching the whole game. He's like, dude, I totally get it, man. I'm watching it too. Like, fuck it, whatever, it doesn't matter. And I was like, oh my man, but it's tough. It's tough, but it's fun. It's like I get no work done when the M's are playing because I got to be watching.
Yeah. Well, in that game too, it made it all like sweeter to me that the Yankees were in heavy pursuit after Castillo, and they were talking about throwing him right behind Garrett Cole. That's their 1-2. They go Cole 1, Castillo 2, and then they're on the mound facing each other. We win the Luis Castillo sweepstakes. Then we put our Luis Castillo up against their Garrett Cole, and you saw what Castillo was bringing. I mean, he's got a 4-pitch mix. The fastball is electric, and he's throwing it more than he ever has, but he's got that just wipe out changeup. Yeah. And I actually, I was talking to Jason Churchill on Twitter, and I was asking him, I go, I texted him and I go, poor man's Felix, ? And he kind of shot it down, but I don't know, man. I do trust Jason on a lot of things. I know it doesn't look exactly like it. Luis has a higher velocity fastball than Felix ever had. If you remember, a lot of people kind of remember Felix wrong. I mean, he wasn't a upper 90s guy. It was a 94. It was a 93 to 95, but he had a wipeout changeup, and he it just disappeared on you. Luis Castillo has that same type of changeup, but he has a higher velocity fastball. He was also throwing a wicked slider. He didn't even really have a great changeup in that game. Who was it? Ryan Rowland-Smith was saying that his slider was better than he's seen it, than he even thought Luis Castillo had. Like his slider was his best pitch that day. So this is a guy that's bringing a four pitch mix. And I mean, when he's on, we're talking about an ace when he's on. Now, there has been some inconsistencies in his game. He is not always lights out, but when he is, he's as good as almost any pitcher in baseball.
Yeah. What I will say too about his 4-pitch repertoire is he uses them equally, which I think builds like an incredibly effective pitcher. Because you look at some of the relievers that we work with, and yes, they're going to rely a lot on their fastball that's in the upper 90, above 95. But to your point, like he uses his slider, his changeup, his fastball, and what does he also have a curveball?
I think it's a 4-seam and a 2-seam.
Yeah, but he uses them.
I could be wrong on that. Don't
fairly. Yeah, no, you might be, but like he uses all of them fairly equally, right? Like it's almost 25% for each pitch, and that. Like if you're working with that, like you I think that's what builds an effective pitcher. So like, I'm excited to see the many more games that he's going to pitch for us, because like I think he's just gonna like shut people down because they don't know what to expect.
He's a hell of a pitcher, and I'm very excited. It says a 3-pitch mix right here. 4-seam fastball at 97 miles an hour. The change is at 88. So you're talking about, a 9-mile-an-hour difference, but it's funneling the same. It looks the same out of his hand. And then, no.
No. It has to be 4. It has to be 4.
It is. He's got a sinker as well.
Yeah.
I missed the sinker. They put the sinker first, which screwed me up. Yeah. So 4-seam fastball, change, sinker, slider. And he's kind of got that 3/4, even a little bit lower than the 3/4. It's almost sidearm coming out. He kind of slingshots it at the plate. But I don't care how it looks, man. The guy is electric.
Yeah.
They were saying that he averages like his fastball at least is like a 96.5 mile per hour. That was his average. And he, like you said, he was touching 98. He may have touched 99 in his first game against the Yankees. And he was throwing everything with extra oomph, extra velocity, extra bite. Everything was just extra in that game against the Yankees. And, the heat of the moment maybe, but shit, maybe he's just going to kick it into another higher gear every time he comes out for the Mariners. And I mean, you come from a team like Cincinnati, who the Mariners, first of all, Jerry DiPoto, first of all, it seems this guy, maybe we touched on this last episode, which I'm sure we did, but, he goes through streaks of doing trades with one team. The first that I can remember was Tampa Bay, right? We had so many trades with Tampa Bay. The next was San Diego. We had a number of trades from San Diego who those people have become, core pieces in our lineup. Ty France, Matt Brash, Andres Munoz, obviously Taylor Trammell and Luis Torrens as well. The latter two aren't as relevant as the first three, but now Gino Suarez, Jesse Winker, and Luis Castillo all coming from Cincinnati. It's just, once he gets in the door with the team, it seems like he's going to keep picking them for everything that they got. Don't get me wrong, they got a great haul in return for Luis Castillo's trade, but we got a now player. We got a legit proven MLB player, and it's fun to watch, man. It's fun to watch.
Did you mention Matt Brash? Did I miss it?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
Because I love that. I love that. You had that big, 4-person trade for Aaron Nola, and then the next day he goes back and he goes, "Wait, there's something we forgot. How about Taylor Williams for Matt Brash as well?" He's like, all right.
We also gave him Dan Altavia in that first trade.
Yeah. He just has CJ Preller on a string.
I guess so, man.
Well, I mean, Preller. Think about that San Diego deal that was made for Juan Soto, who a lot of people wanted up here in the Great Pacific Northwest. We didn't have. We have a great farm system. But they really liked the prospects that we're getting from the Nationals. Really liked the prospects they were getting from the Padres. But man, what a haul that he gave up. He is just aggressive as hell. He locked on to Aaron Nola from our team a couple years ago, and he's like, I don't care what it takes to get him. Take Ty France, take Taylor Trammell, and then obviously he locks on to Juan Soto because he's a great player. But man, that was one of the biggest prospect hauls in the history of baseball.
What is well, it's kind of a bummer, but how Juan Soto gets traded to the Padres has a very important series against the Dodgers and they get swept.
We got the Padres coming up later this year.
Can't wait.
Two games.
Are they coming to town?
Yeah, that'd be a good game to go to.
Yeah.
We went there already. We 2 games against them already. Now they're coming here. I've seen on Twitter right now, Frankie Montas, a name that was getting tossed around in at least Mariners Twitter. Obviously, the Yankees got him, and we obviously got Luis Castillo, but not the best start for Mr. Frankie Montas, because he gave up 6 runs in the first 2 innings against the Cardinals today for the Yankees. And so, welcome to New York. I can't wait to see what New York's Twitter is chirping at Frankie Montas, because they go absolutely nuts. Oh my gosh! Did you guys see on Twitter the Seattle Mariners? You see that guy?
Yeah.
After
I just had my heart blood, or what did he say? It was blood pressure. My blood pressure finally went down, and then I turned into the game of the Seattle Mariners.
Today was the first time in 3 years my blood pressure's been normal. And guess what happens? Garrett Cole gives up 6 runs in the first inning to the Seattle Mariners.
The Seattle Mariners.
The
Man,
Mariners.
that is the greatest thing ever. I love it when New York Yankees fans just get so upset because I've said this before and I'll say it again and you can put it on my damn tombstone. I fucking hate New York. I hate New York and everything about it. It's a disgusting city. Actually, I don't mind the Mets. I don't mind the Mets. But
you know who I hate more than the Yankees that are in that division?
Boston.
Blue Jays?
The Blue Jays.
Yeah.
I think it's absolute bullshit that they get to play games against teams that aren't vaccinated.
Yep.
And they play everyone's B squad. And at home they have like they're 10 games over 500 or something.
Yeah.
On the road, they're essentially a 500 team. So it's like, dude, must be nice, man.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Sure, but
no. Don't you stand
the
up
Blue
for
Jays
them.
for that. You can't.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's not their decision. It's
Dude.
freaking Jordan. What's the guy that runs the
Yeah.
place? Who's the guy that runs the place?
Manfred.
No. Of Canada. Justin
Trudeau.
Justin Trudeau.
Yeah,
No.
that's his doing. Him
Why don't
and
you?
Rob Manfred.
Manfred should have said, "You guys got to play in Buffalo this year."
Sure.
True.
But
Yeah.
then fucking hate on Manfred then. But I
No,
don't.
that's
think-
easy.
Yes, that is extremely easy. It is the easiest thing in the world. Him and Roger Goodell as well. Anyways, man, why can't commissioners just why can't they just be good? It seems like a commissioner of every league just sucks.
No, the NBA. Adam Silver is a good commissioner.
So,
Okay.
the NBA.
Yeah.
Okay, so two things here. Chris Silva is going to stand by his New York City statement. I'm not going to agree with the viewpoint of the center of the universe. I think New York City is a great city, so don't come at me. But I will say, I do have an announcement today, gentlemen.
You're getting married.
No, not even close, dude. I am running for the MLB commissioner. Do you guys
Max
vote for me?
Schwabe?
Yeah.
Max, I thought you were gonna have a real legit, some cool announcement to come with, and then you just say something dumb.
Dude, this is entirely real. This is not fiction.
Sure.
Max, as much as I love you, I would not vote for you. I think you'd
Oh,
be.
not a chance. Not a chance. Would
I
I
think
vote
you'd
for
be
you, Max.
so over your head.
Oh my God, you would be so over your head. You would drown so quickly.
And it's nothing personal.
No, it's nothing personal. Just we know you and talk with you every day. So.
Yeah, no, sure. Ladies and gentlemen
Yeah.
who listen to this podcast, do you see the shit that I have to deal with?
Oh
Boy.
man, ladies and gentlemen,
These are the people that hype me up the most.
Max,
am I right
you
or
do
am
it
I
to
right?
yourself. You do it to yourself, Max. You come in here like not knowing anything, and so I would love I would love to create a poll.
Whoa.
I would love to create a poll on Instagram and Twitter saying, would you want Max Schwab to be MLB commissioner? And I'm curious what our listeners would say.
Hey, you know who was right about Marco Gonzalez?
It was Max Schwabe.
Max
Yeah.
Schwabe.
I was absolutely right about Marco Gonzalez.
You were 100% right, Max. And I think I was the one who was like up in arms the most. Maybe Chris was equally, but I was like, dude, that's the dumbest thing you've ever said. I have to apologize to you. And I don't think Marco's a bad pitcher. And we're getting kind of off.
No. Neither do I. Like I'm just saying, like the hot take, quote unquote, that I had was that he's an inconsistent pitcher. And
you said you're not a fan.
Okay, same thing. I'm not a fan of inconsistent pitchers. Like they're not mutually exclusive. Like, but you're absolutely right. I'm not saying he's a bad pitcher. It's just like I think fortunate for us, we've been working with some real good guys on the bump lately. You got Logan. Now we got Castillo. I've always been a fan of Chris Flexen.
I'm happy you went to Flexen because there's a big argument between who gets pushed out of the rotation, and I don't think it's necessarily going to be that cut and dry. I think it'll be more of a piggyback situation with trying to work Kirby's innings in a manageable way, and then also picking your spots with Marco. Mm-hmm. But if it was just someone's got to get dropped out, it would have to be Marco. I mean, Flexen is a better pitcher than Marco. I feel way more confident when he's on the bump.
Totally.
Now this could be a nice transition into what happened with the Angels in that game because he did not have it. But we also do have a couple other guys that we acquired in the trade that we could go down that route too.
And I want to finish this Angels series. I really just specifically want to talk about today. Sunday, August 7th, because Max and I, we were at the game, not together, but we ran into each other, said what's up. But it was objectively a perfect day for baseball. So I don't know if there was.
I found myself saying that too. I was kind of sitting down like behind home plate. I was hanging with my brother Jack Schwabe and Jacob Place and Jack's buddy. But like I remember like sitting behind home plate in the third inning. I just was kind of like looking around. And I was like, dude, today's a good day for baseball.
It was hot, man. It was hot. I got this is the first game that I went to, and I can't tell you how long I didn't buy a single alcoholic beverage today. I had a vanilla latte iced, of course, and a very cold water. I didn't have a single drink of alcohol. I had a shot before we got in, but that doesn't really count. But I didn't drink anything in the stadium. But I mean, it was Seafair weekend in Seattle. Absolutely gorgeous. Today, not a cloud in the sky. It was like almost 90 degrees. It was hot, right? But Blue Angels, man, the only angels that we like here in Seattle, they're the Blue Angels, and they were flying over the stadium like multiple times, and the loud noises of the jets just roaring through. They flew over during God Bless America in the 7th inning doing a flyover. I don't know if that was timed or if it just happened to be, but that was really
obviously timed, my guy.
Maybe not. You never know. But it was just awesome, man. And I was it was so hot. Like I got the water right, and I kept doing the thing, in baseball where it's really hot out, and when you're playing a game or something, and you put the water into your hat, and it kind of gets a little pool in there, and then you dump it on your head. Oh, and it goes all over. It felt so good. Only problem was, it went down the back. It went down the front of my back.
Oof.
And
I know what happened next.
And then my other buddy, it was gross, man. He had just the worst swamp butt like ever, just because he was sweating so hard. Oh my gosh! And this reminds me of a conversation we had.
Was it Chuck?
No, it was Marshall. He has the worst swamp ass in the world. It was disgusting. This is a weird question, and because this conversation came up, but we were talking about when you're going number 2, right, and you're sitting on the toilet. You guys like stand up a little bit to, wipe and get everything out, right?
Well, I mean, as much as I don't want to talk about this, yes, that's exactly what I do.
One of my buddies stays seated.
Yeah, that's weird.
He reaches under.
Yeah, that's weird.
And then wipes. It's the weirdest thing I'd ever heard in like my entire life. And I was like, I can't believe what you're saying right now. Like, this is the grossest, weirdest thing. Like, what if your hand touches the water? Like, it was disgusting. Yeah, it was disgusting. Yeah, but I don't know. It was just like that.
No, we're very much on the same page with that.
Yeah, I'm glad. Okay, I'm glad because you thought like everything else. Evan's over here shaking your head. What's wrong, Evan? What? Get out of here.
Yeah. Well,
we're all shaking our heads.
Podcast. Why are we talking about this?
Dude,
where's this going?
It's conversations at a baseball game.
Yeah. No. Exactly. What I will say is,
I'm on your page.
Make bidets relevant in this country.
Amen, man. Oof. I used a bidet once, and those things, people like in America, for some reason, it seems that the common thought, right, is like, no, why would we want a bidet? But no, they're very useful. They're clean. It's all about being sanitary, right?
And it feels great.
It does.
Hot summer day, use a bidet.
Hot summer day, use a bidet. Oh man, but nonetheless, absolute gorgeous day in Seattle, and we end up tying the series. So for us to go to New York and then to come home, especially after getting absolutely manhandled in the first game against the Yankees, sights were looking low. The morale was low going into game 2, which I
didn't have high expectations for the Yankee series.
No, I thought that was chalk it up as an L. Maybe we'll squeeze one out. We might get swept, right? Especially after a poor performance against Houston. But that wasn't the case. We ended up winning the final 2 games, take that series, and then we end up splitting the series against the Angels. And so for us to go, what was that, 5-4? How many losses is that? We got 2
this past week.
Yeah, we got 3-3.
Well, there's no
4-3.
Yeah, well, we played 8 games, did we not? No, we had Thursday off. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
4-3.
So 4-3. So that's a really, really good record for losing, especially losing the first game against the Yanks. I mean, coming out on top 4-3, I'll take that. Sure. Sucks that we didn't get 3 out of 4 against the Angels. It's very, very, very difficult to win 2 games in a row in one day. A doubleheader, it's damn near impossible. It's not. We've done it once, so thought we could do it again, but it didn't happen. And so now, I mean, bring it on, New York. Bring it on. And hey, this is what we've been waiting for, right? The 8th, 9th, and 10th of August. We have been saying on this show that after this series against the Yankees, it's smooth sailing. We got a couple of contenders that we'll be going against, but it's smooth sailing. And Julio Rodriguez, he'll be coming back shortly. Dylan Moore will be coming back shortly. I cannot wait to see a lineup with everybody, all of our stars, with Haniger, who just came back, obviously.
Welcome back, Mitch.
Welcome back, Mitch Haniger. With him in the lineup, with Ty France in the lineup, Julio Rodriguez, J.P. Crawford, Gito Suarez, Jesse Winker, Cal Raleigh.
That's a playoff lineup right there.
That's a playoff
That is a playoff lineup. And
we should spend some time on Jesse Winker because last episode we were talking about he's the pop-up king.
He still
God,
is.
how many times? Well, you know what? How many times did he walk in this Angels series? It had to be at least 7 or 8 times.
And then he hits a grand slam.
And then he hits a grand salami.
Second grand salami of the season for the Mariners. Only the second.
Yeah, exactly. And he hit a home run in the 7th inning of Game 3, which we talked about. So he had a nice week. And if maybe one of the biggest additions, we're talking about Haniger, who, we didn't add a whole lot at the deadline. We did add Jake Lamb, who came in and he got on base and that.
Welcome home, Jake Lamb. Chris.
Hey, Max, did you ever play with him?
I practiced with him because he was a senior when I was a sophomore. Anyway, Jake Lamb played at Blanchette with Chris. Went to Blanchette with Chris Silva and I, and hell of a ball player. It's good to have him in his hometown.
Yeah, he pinch hit and he got on base in that game where we're down 3 in the 9th, and we came back to tie it. Unfortunately, we lose it in the 10th because the Angels are one of the only teams that can lay down a bunt in Major League Baseball. This whole series, I was watching the Angels just consistently get the bunt down.
They laid one beautiful one down today.
They did, and they had a drag bunt earlier this series that was beautiful. That was for a single as well. So, I mean, I don't know where I was going with that. Oh yeah, we lost that game because of they bunted the guy over. But Lamb is here, and we're talking about Haniger, who is back to this lineup. If Haniger can be one of those additions that is crucial, and then you can get a Jesse Winker, like the Winker that you traded for, the guy that you expected him to be. Mm-hmm. He's he hit 2 home runs this past week. He's on base constantly. He's done that the whole year. If he can just sprinkle in some hits, kind of slug a little bit, like those 2 home runs, that's another player we're adding to this lineup. Because and Frazier, as we were talking about, he's a different player than he's been. So we have, and this is no stint from Frazier. This has been, I think, over a long enough period of time to where he seems to have figured it out. And Frazier, just to piggyback kind of, or to make more sense of what you were just saying with Winker here, Frazier proves that somebody can have a terrible start, a terrible first half, but it's a long season and they can turn it around. And when they do turn it around, it's going to be amazing. And that may be what we're seeing with Jesse Winker. I've said this also like a long time ago. I was like, oh, when Jesse Winker gets hot, I don't think he's going to stop. And then he kind of got hot for a little bit before the All-Star break, and then then it kind of stopped. But this last week, he's been getting on base, he's been hitting home runs, he hit the grand salami, and if he can keep that going, damn it, we are going to be so scary for the rest of the MLB. I have an idea here, boys. All right, let me pitch an idea for you guys. Now it's going to be about
here's the windup. And
last year we did our picks. Pitch. Last year we did our picks to hit. We could try it. We could try it out this episode, try it out next episode. But I think we need to start a segment on the show. Best of the week, worst of the week. Or, grab a chair or, stand up for, 3 players that were great, 3 players that were bad. Now, I don't know if we'll start that this episode. Maybe we won't. But if we were, Frazier gets a standing ovation. Winker gets a standing ovation, and probably Luis Castillo because he made his debut. And then, you know what? Carlos Santana, grab a chair, dude. You have not been playing very well.
Well, okay, sure, he hasn't been playing well, really, but he did hit the homer in the first inning, and then he did have a 2-run double in that same game.
Hold on, I think
You're talking about the Yankees.
I'm talking
Right?
about the Yankees game, that
Yeah,
one game.
yeah.
I'm talking about one game out of the 7. Yeah.
I was looking at a stat. I don't have it right on me. I think he's like 4 for his last 50, and against right-handed pitching, he's a plus 50 WRPS, which is that WRPS, as we've talked about, plus or WRC plus.
Jeez, man, I'm sitting over here like, is he going to figure out that he's putting a P instead of a C?
Yeah.
What would okay?
100 is average, and he's been putting up a 50 for the last 50 at bats, and it's not like we're talking about it. It's a weekly thing. So grab a chair this week. You can stand up next week. Marco would have to probably grab a chair, even though he came out and did his thing a little bit today. But I mean, he blew up. He was a blow up artist on that first game against the Yankees. And then who would our other chair be for?
I mean, a guy like Marco Gonzalez, whose fastest pitch is 88 miles per hour, and he's going against the Bronx Bombers. Good luck. Good luck.
But why don't you know that as service? Like, as the manager.
Coach. Like, yeah.
Why wouldn't you just skip him?
Yeah.
Who else are you going to throw in at that point?
Dude,
there's not
anyone.
nobody else.
I mean, have a bullpen day. If like
no, it's worse than a bull. No, that's not a no. He's not. Marco is not worse than a bullpen day.
You added Luis Castillo, so you have 6 guys.
Dude, he's clearly worse than a bullpen day.
You could have
happened.
Look,
I saw what happened today too.
Well,
Look,
that was
sure, it's a different
Angels,
lineup.
man.
Sure,
Like,
it's a different lineup. It's still an MLB lineup.
Look, Dipoto was asked, what are you guys going to do with a 6-man rotation? He goes, we might skip a guy a day. We might piggyback a guy. Okay, so that would have been a good time to skip a guy. Marco against power hitting lineups, because he's so contact dependent, it's not a good matchup. And I knew it. We knew that going into the game. And then you saw it right as it happened. And you know what? All right, put him out there, but have your finger hovering over the button and be like, hey, if this even starts to look bad, I got a guy, ready, and you could do a long start with. You could put Flexen in the second inning and have him go.
The good news is as well, for the rest of this entire month, there's not a week where we don't have an off day. So we have a day of rest we have one day of rest every week this entire month. So that's going to be huge for not having to be like, we can't skip a guy because we haven't had enough rest or something like that, which I know that the Mariners would use because they're very conscious of that. But I am more than okay with giving Marco, take a little back seat. And I've been high on Marco. I know I've had his back, but he's a coin flip, man. He's a coin flip. You're not sure which Marco Gonzalez you're going to get. And I'm pretty sure, minus the Flexen outing, this last one, that's like the first bad outing from Flexen I can remember in a while, at least this year. And I'd rather have Flexen going over Marco. It's just no question.
Well, I think that I want to make it clear that I'm confident in Marco going forward because our schedule really lightens up. Now we do see the Braves at home for a 3-game, and we do see the Padres. I wouldn't want him pitching in those series. None of that's
in this month.
I'm just saying, man, going forward, I'm comfortable with Marco aside from those 5 games.
Right. Well, and no, I agree.
What about when we play? I'm curious on your thoughts when we play Cleveland.
He can play. He can pitch against Cleveland.
Okay.
Can he? Well,
I would prefer him not to. But I mean, if it falls on him, I'm not skipping him against the Guardians.
Right. It just as we wrap up the summer, which we still have plenty of time. Don't get me wrong. It's just unless we're cool with getting another 10+ game winning streak, these games are going to be critical because
they're going to be easy though too.
Well, yeah, sure, but I
don't want to get too cocky, but I mean, I've never seen an easier schedule in my life.
Yeah,
I mean, we can run through it real quick, but I mean, I think we go Texas after the Yankees. Then we get the Angels again. Then we get Oakland, and then we get like Washington Nationals, and then we get another cupcake team, and it's just like I think we get Detroit, and
Yeah,
then
we get Detroit.
it's like, dude, come on, we should play 750 clip baseball. I want some sweeps. I want some winning streaks. Like, this is your time to separate.
Yeah, totally agree.
You looking at something?
I'm looking at what the I know Fangraphs has the Mariners at like an 83% playoff chance right now, and I don't think anybody has us below below 80 in terms of the playoff chances. It's August 7th in the Seattle Mariners. Are you kidding me? They got an 83% chance to make the playoffs. I'm pumped, man. It's incredible.
Do we know where we were standing at this time last year?
No, I was gonna try and find that. I don't have enough time to dig into that because as I was just having those thoughts go through my head. I'm curious. I'm sure they weren't terrible. Dude, I don't think they ever really gave us that good of a chance last year just because of how, how much of a ragtag team we had, with guys that were just overperforming past any abilities they typically have. But this year, I mean, we finally make a splash for Luis Castillo in the trade deadline. As we were saying earlier, people were upset that we didn't get a bigger bat, but obviously Mechaniger came back. So that's our big bat signing per se. And then for everybody else that's starting to heat up, the Adam Frazier's, the Jesse Winkers, if that stuff can just stay consistent, man, like I was saying, we're going to be tough. We're a very tough team to beat. I don't think we're on the level of the Astros yet or the Yankees, but, when push comes to shove and we go to New York, we win 2 out of 3. And so it's going to be a very telling series, a very exciting series. Again, Luis Castillo starting tomorrow for the Mariners going against the Yankees in game 1. They're in Seattle. The Mariners seem to never play as well in Seattle as they do on the road. I think when we had that 14-game winning streak, like all of those games on the road, except for when it started against Oakland, right? That 14 games winning streak, I think it started, and then the bulk of that winning streak was all away. It was all games not in Seattle.
I mean, sure, I think the majority of them were away, but I don't think all of them. I think we did have.
That's what I said. Yeah, it was like the first couple. But anyways, so it's going to be very telling for when the Yankees are here. This first start of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If we can take 2 out of 3 against the Yanks again. Oh man, because after the third game against the Yankees, JP Crawford was saying, he's like, man, I don't think we're gonna stop. Like this is where we're getting, everything's coming together here. Our boys are coming back from the injured list. Luis Castillo now, the bullpen's continuing to dominate. Dude, our pitching, Shohei Ohtani against Mariners pitching this last series, 2 for 16 with 7 Ks. Shohei did nothing. He did absolutely
one of his hits was against the shift. It was like a pathetic ground out. It would have been a pathetic ground out to the third baseman, but I mean we're shifted on the other side of the infield, so it was just a little, dribbler down the line. So
yeah,
I mean he was lost at the plate. At the back end, I do want to touch on. We have the Yankees again. We're going to be pitching Gilbert, Castillo, then Ray. So we're throwing our top dogs at them. But then we got Texas. What? Chris or Max, what would you be comfortable with going on this? Because we have Thursday off. We have 6 games this week. What would you be comfortable with? 4-2, or are you comfortable with 3-3? Because if we can just avoid disaster, and I'm not, dude.
No, that's relevant. No,
he's being a realist. Yeah.
We've talked about how easy it gets, and we even before this episode, we've talked about how Houston Yankees. If we can just get out of this without being dominated,
right?
I mean, if we just avoid getting swept by the Yankees, which I don't think we will, but if someone said 1 out of 2 against the Yankees, I might take it. Because then you're playing the Rangers, and I feel confident we own the Rangers this year. Mm-hmm. So 3-3 on the week, I would take that.
When do we expect Julio to come back?
Wednesday.
Okay,
Wednesday.
Here's a hot take. I think we're going 5-1 this week.
Fuck yeah, Max. Oh my god, that's not a hot take. I love it.
I think we're gonna lose 1 to the Yankees, and I think we're gonna sweep the Rangers.
I agree. I'm going to go with that too. And we're going to need it because the Blue Jays. They're going against the Orioles, and then this is going to be fun. They got the Guardians afterwards, and so that's kind of a wild card matchup right there.
Mhm.
But I don't know, with the Orioles trading Trey Mancini. Like, I don't think they've still been winning. I don't think they've lost unless they lost today. They hadn't lost a game since.
Yeah, dude,
Trey
what a
Mancini,
shame. Like,
weird.
if you're an Orioles fan, like, you're stoked because you guys are still in the hunt, but like,
Just
to
get
get rid of
kicked in the
Mancini,
stomach,
like,
dude.
yeah, dude, like,
Kicked in the
and
groin.
think about being a player in the clubhouse too. Like you guys are building all this momentum. No one's expecting you to get this far or even be this close, and all of a sudden, all right, sick. Like, let's, hey guys, we just got rid of our number one player. But keep on getting out there and having fun. Like, you're gonna do great.
You're gonna do great. Good luck, fellas.
Yeah.
You're gonna do great without him.
Yeah, but it was cool because I've said this before, and I think this is kind of random, but wife, you asked a question a while ago, and you're like, "Who's your favorite team that's not the Mariners?" I had said the Mets, but I think I'm going to change that to the Orioles because for this reason, when I went to Baltimore to see the Mariners play there a number of years ago in the middle of July, funny enough, in the middle of July, they did a Buck Snowalter giveaway, which was a snow globe with Buck Showalter inside of it in the middle of July. It made no sense. I was like, okay, whatever. It was a cool little gift. Anyways, that entire city, like blocks on blocks around the stadium, like I'm not exaggerating, like 20 blocks away. Me and my buddies walked far. And every single restaurant had Orioles shit everywhere. I was like, all right, mad respect. And then like at the game, all the fans, they knew their shit. They knew baseball. Everybody we talked to, it was awesome. And then I see on TV this weekend that the Orioles place was just jam-packed. Even after they trade Trey Mancini, it was jam-packed. I was like, God damn it, do I respect you fans in Baltimore, because your team, your owners are clearly showing it. It seems, at least from an outsider's perspective, such as my own, it seems that the ownership doesn't give two shits about what's going on. Bye-bye, Trey Mancini, in the middle of a playoff push when we're 1.5 games back in the wild card spot.
Right.
The parallels between their squad and last year's Mariners squad are hard to deny because, out of nowhere, they come and they're bidding for a playoff spot. And then, we traded away the heart and soul of our club. And that might be a tiny bit too far, but I mean, Kendall Graveman was loved by everyone.
He wasn't
even
here for the whole year. I know he was loved by everyone.
Dude, don't roll your eyes at me. That trade was highly, highly, highly unpopular.
Sure.
Kyle Seager about lost it.
It was just because of the timing of the game.
Okay, so
that's the only reason it was.
Chris, does it have to be a completely 1-to-1, like perfect matchup to make the argument that they're last year's Mariners?
No, but using Trey Mancini and the Kendall Graveman comparison,
dude,
Trey Mancini
Kendall Graveman, we were in a playoff run. I
have to agree. Kendall Graveman was the most dominant relief pitcher in baseball,
and he was loved by that clubhouse. We shipped him off, and then we went on.
We got Abraham Toro
dude. So fucking what exactly? But we took so much pride in our bullpen, right? And then Kendall Graveman getting shipped off to some guy that we weren't sure of. And sure enough, like, we sent him down to AAA this week.
Finally, man.
I even prefaced it for Chris. I'm like, I know he's not Trey Mancini, but and he's like, no, not close.
No, he's not Trey Mancini.
Like, no, I know he's literally not Trey Mancini. I know he's Kendall Graveman.
Yeah.
Anyways,
look, ladies and gentlemen, we love that you guys are listening to us, and we appreciate you. Do us all a favor. Please like, subscribe, and every single time I say this, I want to vomit.
Comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, no, smash that subscribe button.
Yes.
Smash that comment button.
And rate us.
Yeah, and rate us. And tell your friends that are baseball nerds, because we love having you guys listen to us. And also, I especially am a big fan of you guys commenting. Leave comments. Like, we want to know how we're doing. We want to know what you guys want us to talk about. And here's where I'll finish off, guys.
Well, hold on. There's a reason for you guys, the listeners as well, to do all of what Max just said: like, comment, subscribe, and follow. Because here's a little sneak peek at what's going on behind the scenes with Monday Mojo. In the very near future, we're going to be dropping some merch. And we are definitely going to be doing some contests, some promotions for those who are liking, who are commenting, who are following, who are subscribed. If you are subscribed and doing everything else I just said, I'm not going to continue saying it because it's a mouthful. But if you're doing that, you're going to have a chance to get, free Monday Mojo shirt, free Monday Mojo hat. We got designs of Logan Gilbert, designs of Julio Rodriguez. There's some sick shirts, man.
Dude, they are sick. The Julio shirt's sick. I love the
Julio
Gilbert shirt
shirt's
as
going to
well.
be awesome. It was we have this guy that's doing the art for us. But I up one night, in kind of a halfway sleep, halfway awake, kind of visioned a drawing of Julio Rodriguez, and it's gonna be freaking sick. So with that being said, you're gonna want to be following, liking, subscribing, and commenting to Monday Mojo.
What I want to see is folks in the UK repping our merch.
Oh yeah, Rob Deemer, our boy, we got you. We got you. We got to get them to represent for sure.
That's right. But here's what I'll say. We're getting to a point, and we're going to say this on episodes to come. Now is the time where the Mariners prove whether or not they're pretenders or contenders. And I think all of us here on the show believe firmly that we're contenders. So if you're from the Seattle area, get out to some Mariner games. If you're not, buy a goddamn ticket. Maybe I'll consider subsidizing. I absolutely won't. But we're very happy that you're listening to us. And thank you for listening. Go Mariners.